The biggest mistake usually happens after the weight comes off. Hi, welcome back to Evelyn's Desk. Welcome, welcome. Let me tell you why. So, losing weight is the popular thing when it comes to a health and wellness journey. You have to lose it because a myriad of reasons. You take your pick which one you like. But, before we get into the buts, with the GLP medications, losing weight has become easier because GLP medications work so well and they are readily available. Lots of people are on them and they've been incredibly helpful. But what ends up happening is that when you are in this trend of thought of have to lose the weight, you wait too long to think about how are you going to maintain the weight. People step away from the thought that losing weight is the first step, or first or second step, depending on your specific journey, to a health and wellness journey. And in healthcare, we always, at least in my personal experience, I have learned that it's quality over quantity, right? We want to live the longest with having good quality of life, because if you live a long time with poor quality of life, then it doesn't make for a great experience. And so quality over quantity. And so in preventative care, again, you want to look at the whole picture. So it is losing the weight, it is transitioning from losing the weight to maintaining, and then actual maintenance. And that's where people don't that is not a conversation that is commonly had. At LivLight, we have that conversation at the beginning, so that way we're continue to talk about it, and that can look in many different ways. But now that we have the factor of the GLP medications, people assume also that the appetite will stay suppressed forever. But that's not the truth. That's not what happens. The medications are suppressing the appetite, and then when we change that because you either no longer qualify for the medication or you've achieved your weight loss goal, you have to make a change. And the appetite suppressor is no longer there, right? There's been a change, and people tend to assume that the appetite is going to continue to stay suppressed, but it doesn't. And so what do, right? This is why at LivLight we focus on the nutritional coaching. That's why we created the GLP Success and Maintenance Guide, because within the guide it gets you thinking, okay, I'm doing this now, but I'm gearing to do that later. And that later is going to be maintenance. What steps or habits are you going to put in place to maintain the progress that you've made so far, right? Whether you stop midway, whether you stop at the end, no matter how long you've been doing a weight loss program, maintenance should be what you do to help you not go back to the beginning, but stay where you are, right? And possibly get better, but in a different way. And so that getting better in a different way can look like building more muscle mass, becoming very strong, getting buff, if that is what you want to do. But in the evaluation of that, what happens with the muscle? And so if you're going to get stronger, you need muscle, you need to build it. And what people sometimes find with GLP medications is that, losing weight with GLP medications is that they've lost muscle mass. Losing muscle mass while losing weight is easy because muscle is more readily available. It's easy for the body to take the energy away from the muscles and use that, right? Because you put yourself at a calorie deficit due to being less hungry, and your distribution of foods, when it comes to your protein sources, your fiber sources, your fat sources, it gets skewed because you don't have that hunger signal. And again, everybody is a little bit different in how they put their plate and why they do it, but at the end of the day, you have to protect your muscle mass. And so because losing muscle mass while you are losing weight is easy to do, it is something that at our clinic we always look out for. This is why we do a body composition analysis at least once every 6 weeks, because things change and they can change fast. And if you're losing muscle mass, then that can bring on a slew of other issues. Now, going back to the appetite suppression effect of the GLP medications is hydration. I've talked about this before. I'm going to continue to talk about it in the future. I'm talking about it now. Hydration can decrease with these medications because sometimes dehydration, the lack of fluids in your body or the decrease of fluids in your body, can show up as hunger. So if you're feeling hungry, like I said in video number 2, if you're feeling hungry, you may, I recommend people to drink a glass of water, not the whole bottle, just, like 8 ounces, and get busy for 30 minutes, get away from the kitchen, distract yourself. If after those 30 minutes you feel, you stop and you assess and you still feel hungry, then go and eat a balanced meal. And in that meal, when people have already finished their weight loss journey, they've stopped their medication and or they've decreased their dosage, whatever their medical professional has recommended to do, and they are doing that, people will find themselves putting or reintroducing ultra processed foods on that plate because they feel hungry and they have some sort of craving. When you do that, that reintroduction of ultra processed foods can make you have other cravings, and you end up eating more calories than you would have otherwise, because now you are eating something that is super savory but doesn't have enough protein or enough fiber to make you feel full. And so it's one of those things where you have to seek a medical professional, medical or healthcare professional that will help you through those things.
Here at LivLight,
we have the GLP Success and Maintenance Guide available to you in the description below. Click the link, sign up for our newsletter, and you'll be able to get the guide for free. So that way you are able to go through it, have the those tips and tricks that you need to get you started. And if you need more help, reach out. We are here to help you. Thank you. Until next time.